Well, our life is experienced in between the shifts of success and failures. And I guess every one of us have been through some of our failures and we have overcome our failures in our distant future or in our distant past. To be human is to fail. We experience failures both because of our own faults or by the faults of others. We fail in small things like keeping up our New Year resolutions. We might fail in the larger things like finding jobs or overcoming addictions. Or we might fail or our failures sometimes negatively impact us in our life. Something like overcoming debts, pursuing or persuading the child's career, or keeping up a marriage together. But after each setback, we make a better choice and find opportunity to grow. Failures are very necessary for us as they are the part of our life. This allows us to be more wiser and shape us in its own ways. And this lets us attain a deeper understanding of the life itself. Now, thinking about the impacts of failures, let's try to understand where the feelings of failure is rooted in. Firstly, we can say that the patterns of our childhood trauma and the experience what we see in our childhood is one of the major contributors for our future failures. Second thing is, well, everybody does it, it's procrastination. Third is any kind of a traumatic events like that of a car accidents will not let us to, get back to the steering wheel if we are not confident enough. Fourth is low self-esteem. And fifth is perfectionism. Now, looking at the lens of a researcher, what we can find is when we win at something, brain releases dopamine, the chemical which is needed to keep us very happy and brain healthy. Over time, these happy signals morph the brain's configuration to make us more smarter, better trained. And this is what we call as the winner's effect. Some research suggests that failures can impede the concentration, thus sabotaging our future performances. So once we fail, we are more likely to fail again. So the next time when you fail, make sure that you do not do the same things in a repetitive way. So when it comes to understand how exactly people categorize themselves, research has put 4 different categories of people. First is success-oriented people who love learning, and failure is basically a way to improve rather than changing their aspirations to learn. Second is overstrivers, and they are afraid of failing and they avoid it in all costs, thus exerting themselves beyond what is reasonably expected. The third one is failure avoiding, so they do not expect success. In order to do so, they frequently make excuses and they do not want to participate in any kind of a activity. The final one is the failure accepting people who have altogether given up to succeed and they have internalized the failure in them. So the question arises like what exactly we can be doing in order to make our failures not an everlasting love story. First thing is, do not dwell onto it. Stop fixating. Worry and anxiety are the primary source of impaired performance. So instead, you can reframe your question, reframe your problems, and reimagine your failures. Then do not ignore your failures. What happens is some of our work or some of our aspirations are very much tempted. So we blindly pursue a new path that is determined to be successful by others, but we do not have any kind of an inspiration in it. So we just take because it has been the trend. And that might lead to having a directionless state of our mind. And once we fail, we totally try to give up on that. So without a plan, the brain is forced to choose a path of least resistance, and that is giving up. So instead, what we can do is we can specifically set up goals and that are far-fetched and that makes us feel better. Then rehearse, plan, and prepare yourself for failures, scenarios that might be there in the context of reaching your goal. So once you are more prepared in each step, once you are more focused onto the problems as well, you learn and you don't take that failure to your heart. And finally, trust yourself. Stop using the avoidance or prevention motivation, as these might choke you up when the pressure builds up. So make sure that you believe in yourself, make sure that you address each and every failures in each step, and you set up the goals which are capable in your context and celebrate each progress. So as and when you try to release the more and more dopamines, the essential chemicals needed for you to perform, the better your brain performs. To overcome fear of failure, we can start by figuring out where it comes from and reframe the way we feel about our failures. When failures is a chance for growth and you have looked at all possible outcomes, it's easier for us to overcome the fear. Stay positive, have a backup plan, and learn from whatever happens. Your failures will be source of education and inspiration rather than humiliation. Of all the people whom I have known, Thomas Alva Edison sums it up in a better way. I have not failed, I just found 10,000 ways that doesn't work. So don't get disheartened from your failures. Let the failures be the stepping stone for your success. Hope to see you more successful around, and keep watching for more such intriguing videos. Till the next time, take care. Thank you.